All right. Hello, everybody. KVUE Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with our nightly extended update on the forecast here on KVUE Plus and YouTube Live and all of our streaming platforms. Couple things that we'll talk about tonight. Number one, we got an update to our drought monitor today. You probably know the direction this conversation is going in. We have expanding top-level exceptional drought. We'll talk about that. We have another kind of chilly night in the forecast for tonight. We actually had a light freeze over parts of the hill country this morning. We have some fire danger returning to our forecast this weekend. Quick storm chance Sunday evening over the weekend, and then maybe, all right, everyone knock on wood, cross your fingers, whatever you need to do. Maybe some more promising rain chances for the middle into the end of next week. So we'll talk about all of this in detail. Y'all know the drill. Here on our extended forecast, we have unlimited time. It's not just 3 minutes or 2 minutes and 45 seconds. We go through everything and all the data. So if you are a weather nerd, you are in the right place. All right, here's a beautiful shot. This is our Oasis camp looking out over Lake Travis. Looks great. Again, the goal, though, is that we can get some more water in here. I'm tired of seeing the Sometimes Islands. Here are the numbers today. It was chilly this morning. This afternoon was like perfect. If you ask me, though, we actually were 3 degrees under the average for this time of the year. The high today for the airport and Mayberry was 71. In the metro, we had a lot of low to mid 40s this morning, 44 for Mayberry, 43 at the airport. It was much colder outside of town. And for some areas, especially along and east of I-35, I actually think it will be a little bit cooler tonight, but it will be a little warmer tonight over the hill country as we kind of shift to more of a south wind. But look at these numbers. A late season freeze for Llano and for Fredericksburg this morning, 30 at both of those locations. Also had some 30s over parts of the hill country. Taylor, Georgetown, 38 degrees this morning, 39 down to San Marcos. Giddings, 44, Cameron and Milam County, 39. LaGrange went down to 42 degrees this morning. So here's my forecast for tonight into tomorrow morning. Again, along and east of I-35, I actually think it will be a little bit cooler, not drastic, but a little cooler. How about 39 in Smithville tonight? 41 in Elgin, Giddings, 40. LaGrange, 40 degrees. Flatonia, 41. 42 in town for Austin. A lot of low 40s across the metro. I think some of the coldest wind protected spots, though, could be down in the upper 30s. Then as you go to the hill country, I don't expect another freeze tonight. Upper 30s, low 40s are generally what we have in the forecast. Then heading into tomorrow afternoon, Friday afternoon, anything you want to do outdoors, golf, whatever, it's going to be fantastic. Upper 70s, low 80s for afternoon highs. 80 degrees is in the forecast for Austin. So pretty quickly, we're going to go back above average. We only had one day that was below. Now it's going to be a sunny sky, but it's also going to be much more breezy. South wind sustained 10 to 15, gust up 25, maybe 30 miles an hour. Here's kind of the hourly wind gust forecast for tomorrow. Starts off pretty light in the morning. Then as we go to the late morning into the afternoon, 25, 20, 25 mile an hour wind gust higher across the hill country. That's going to be pretty widespread. Now, as we've been talking about the past couple of weeks, really, anytime the wind starts to kick up, our fire danger is going to ramp up as well. So that will be the case tomorrow. For most of us, it's this beige color into the peach, which is high to very high fire danger. Across the hill country, though, we do have extreme fire danger outlined by the Texas A&M Forest Service. Blanco County into far northwestern Burnett, and then especially Llano, Mason, and Gillespie County. At this moment, as we record this live at 7:03 on Thursday evening, we do not have a red flag warning for any part of our KVUE area tomorrow. It would not surprise me, though, if the National Weather Service woke up tomorrow morning and did issue one of those, at least for the hill country. I would say it's probably unlikely one is issued, though, for the immediate Austin metro. But either way, we've got burn bans for the vast majority of our KVUE counties. Just continue to be mindful and avoid outdoor burning. Here's the trend over the next 5 days. This warming trend gets going and it accelerates heading into the weekend. Saturday, we are at 87 degrees. Sunday, 88. Maybe close to 90, depending on when exactly this cold front comes through. And speaking of the cold front, you can see the imprint of it. It's not a strong one. It will be low 80s for one day Monday, then back mid-upper 80s by Tuesday of next week. But as this front comes in, it could bring us some rain. Now, I don't think that all of us will get rain, but some of us I do think will. Here is 8 a.m. on Sunday. The first half of the day, if you have church plans or anything you're doing early in the day, I think we're going to be dry, but you can see the imprint, the wind shift associated with this cold front. So here it comes. As we go to 7 o'clock in the evening, we'll see how widespread this is, but I think at least some scattered showers and storms look likely, about a 30 to 40% rain chance evening, maybe into the early overnight. Here's 10 o'clock, and then eventually this front's going to push through, so that's going to mainly push the rain chance all down to our south as we go through the day on Monday. So I think you get the idea. Is this a massive rain chance? No, but it's a chance for rain, and maybe even a couple of strong storms. This is our Sunday storm outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. This looks very familiar. The better parameter is going to be northeast of here, but that level 2 risk goes down to Milam County. Remember on the extended update, so as soon as you get past day 3, day 4 through day 8, they don't do the levels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They only do 15% and 30%, which is basically level 2 and 3. So the level 2 risk goes into Milam County. Again, you can kind of imagine with your mind if they expanded into a level 1 risk, that probably would go down maybe closer to the Austin area. So, you know, we're likely to have some sort of a low-end strong storm risk, but I don't see any sort of like major severe weather problems. And this first system, I don't think is going to be a big rainmaker for us. Both are GFS American model and European model for rain over the next 7 days. European model says good luck getting really anything, maybe a little bit southeast of Austin. European model starts to get a little bit more bullish, but I'll tell you, that is not from the rain Sunday. It's actually from rain that starts to increase across our areas we get into the middle and end of next week, and that I actually feel a little bit better about, and we know we desperately need it because of this. We got an update to our drought monitor today. Obviously not a good update. We have expanding top-level exceptional drought, which is now kind of growing in coverage over western Travis County. You don't like having that right over Lake Travis and the Highland Lake chain stretching back into Burnett County, and then especially Blanco into Gillespie County. What was the change? This graphic has been struggling all day. Give it a second to load. There we go. So what was the change versus last week? Was it like, drastically bigger? No. But you can see we had this little kind of oval area of exceptional drought. Now that is much bigger. And then especially southwest of our area, that actually increased in coverage pretty substantially. So that's the way things are trending. Hopefully we can get a little bit of rain to help with that though. All right, again, everybody, let's do it together. Knock on wood. Cross your fingers. If you're superstitious, do whatever you need to do for good luck. Hopefully this does not change. Now, this is an extended outlook. Y'all know the deal. I'm going to be the guy that stands up here and says, could change. But I am seeing some signals in the longer range data. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. Green. Yes, green on the map. This is March 26th through the 30th. So that is Wednesday of next week through Sunday of next week. So middle of next week into next weekend. I'm seeing some signs in the models that we could have some rain around. Now, am I saying this is like drought busting, crazy, a foot of rain? I'm not saying that, but I think we could have some pretty widespread storm chances in our forecast if things continue this way. Storm Prediction Center, or the Climate Prediction Center, says better chance for heavier rain is mainly over our south, but still some decent likelihoods even into our area. So we'll watch that. You start to see a little bit of a sign of a little pattern change at the tail end of our 7-day forecast. We'll fine-tune more of that over the next couple of days, and I'm with you. Hope this continues to trend in the right direction. We really need the rain. 7-day forecast. So a little chilly tomorrow morning, heading out the door. Long sleeves, light jacket, something like that. 42, 80 for the afternoon. Great for the afternoon. Saturday morning, milder, 55. 87 for the afternoon. High on Saturday, warm, dry day, a little breezy. Sunday morning, much milder, 60s because we're ahead of the front. And then the front comes through in the evening. There'll be a little chance for some rain and storms with it. As of now, I'm not expecting anything major, but a 30 to 40%. So hopefully we get a little bit of rain and avoid any severe issues. And then that front comes through. Very little cool air behind it. Low 60s Monday morning, 82 for the afternoon high. Tuesday, 87. Then Wednesday and Thursday, we're still in the low to mid 80s. And again, am I saying we've got, a foot of rain on the way? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying we have some better rain chances. We're starting off very conservative. I've got a 20% Wednesday up to a 30% Thursday. But, looking at the longer range data, I'm seeing in that, Thursday, Friday, Saturday time frame, things are looking a little bit more promising for us. So it's time for that to change, but hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it continues to trend in this direction. Of course, we will keep you updated along the way. All right, that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you, as always, for tuning in to KVUE Plus and all of our streaming platforms for our nightly extended update on the forecast. We do this every single night at 7 o'clock here on KVUE Plus. Next update from me will be in about 3 hours for KVUE News at 10 o'clock. I'm going to go grab some dinner, and I will see you then. Y'all have a good night.